connecting. Welcome live to the upgrade party. Monday morning, afternoon, wherever you're watching from. The end of 2025. Can you guys believe that? I have talked to so many people about how quick this year went. And if you're anything like me, I am just putting the Zoom link in the chat. Please join me. I am not able to do that right now for some reason. It should be on the event page. As soon as this is up, I can share the Zoom link with you. Talked to a lot of people about how fast this year went, and it is amazing. A little worrisome, but really incredible, and really want to take the time today to celebrate you, celebrate your growth, celebrate the upgrading. I really would like to know what kind of upgrading that you've been focusing on. Looking back, what are the things that really stand out to you in terms of the version that you are today? And also the versions that you are going into in 2026. So if you're watching right now and you're able to get on Zoom with me, I welcome you to. Please join me. It's always more fun and have an opportunity to dive even deeper in the things that you want to address. Let me see if it's up yet. It is not up. So if you go to events, I should have the link straight connected to Zoom. So you're welcome to join in. In the meantime, we are getting ready. I really want to welcome you to this upgrade party with Trine. I am Trine Schmidt. I am a alignment coach and licensed therapist. For people that don't know me yet, I also do energy healing, parts work, really help women integrate the newer version of themselves. So if you've kind of been through a transition and you're feeling things moving inside of you, congratulations, exciting. That's probably why you're watching this, because you're recognizing that there are things moving. So I really want to welcome you, everybody, and so glad that you are here. Today is not about pushing change or fixing anything. I really just want to celebrate. I want to celebrate your growth. The kind of growth that happens quietly, internally, and honestly. This is just soft, silent growth. So if you're watching this, something inside of you already knows, I'm not who I used to be. It's not exciting. And I know that things are not static and, things change all the time. But when we really put a lot of focus and value into our own personal growth, things start shifting. Okay. Things start changing. And we're not always good at stopping and recognizing that things have changed. It's incredibly valuable in the full embodiment and integration, which I do with my clients, the acknowledgement and recognition of this growth. So what I really want to say is that we often think that upgrading has to look big and dramatic, but most upgrades start way before action. All right. They start when you pause instead of react, when you don't abandon yourself, when you feel a desire for more without judging it. You realize that you can't go back to the old version of you. And if you have anything else to add that kind of gives signs to how you know that you're no longer the same and that you've made these small upgrades, please type that in the comments below. I would love to hear what your observations and what you've noticed. So all of these things are growth. These are all upgrades. Noticing, showing up a little bit differently, having different self-talk. So, which upgrades are you here to celebrate here with me? Want you to type that in the comments. Those of you that are watching, either live or on replay. I certainly recognize that I am by far not the same as I was a year ago. If we're really going to look at the full year, measuring backwards, as some of my clients might be watching this and be like, yeah, Trina talks about that all the time. This is from Gap in the Gain. It's a life-changing way of looking at life instead of as us very ambitious women want to continuously improve and look for the next thing, really taking time to measure backwards of how far have I come, how have I shown up differently today versus last week or last month is incredibly valuable. So I encourage you to do that. And how I see myself show up differently this year, I can personally say that I have a lot better self-care, and I thought I did pretty good last year. But it has solidified more. I am more clear in setting boundaries. I'm more clear about what's important for me, standing up for myself, standing up for my time, speaking to myself in a more valuable way, doing things that I love, which is being here with you, coaching, seeing people change and transform is probably the biggest gift that I can have in my life. And all that has just been solidified more. My thinking is very different than it was a year ago. And that's due to conscious upgrading, which is really exciting. Plus, I've worked on embodying it, integrating it. So I want to give you kind of a little growth meter on kind of recognizing and check if you're upgrading right now or you have been upgrading. All right. So if you're upgrading, you can honestly say yes to every one of these. So there's three aspects to this. You acknowledge who you want to be. All right. So often we focus a lot on what we don't want to be or what we don't like, which is good because out of that growth, desire for what we really want and desire. However, when we truly acknowledge what we really want, that's where it becomes different because now we're focusing on something different. So you're not forcing it, you're not fixing it, you're just admitting, I want to be different. And you have an idea what that looks like. So acknowledgement. I accept the newness and embrace the path that leads there. So the acceptance, it's a huge step in the integration code that I teach with my clients, is really understanding that, okay, well, now I know, right? I acknowledge where I want to go. I'm accepting it, which means that at least I'm allowing myself to know that I'm on a path that may not look pretty and may be a little bumpy at times, but I know this path leads me there. And as long as I continue going this path, I'm gonna get to where I've already painted it, what I've already seen, what I already know. And I'm gonna have patience and kindness for myself during that. All right. So acknowledgement, acceptance, and then align and refocus. So we often get discouraged, we often question, we second guess, we think we're starting back over, and that's not the case. We can't unlearn what we've already learned. So we're never really starting from square one, even though we feel like we're kind of regressing into old behaviors and patterns at times. But if we align with ourselves and our true self and our true voice, and we continuously looking at and acknowledging where we want to go, continue to accept that we're on that path, and we refocus every time we kind of get distracted. If these three things are something that you have really been implementing, you know that you're upgrading, and congratulations, because you really have the light end of the stick picked up, and you're on your way. So I really want to hear about how you've been upgrading. What areas of your life look different? Maybe your relationships, maybe work, maybe you lead your people in a different way. I had a client who have shared her upgrading along her way since we stopped working together, and she is speaking in front of a lot of people now, which she didn't used to, and actually didn't think that she really enjoyed in the past. And she's a true leader, which is an upgrade that she accepted and invited into her life. And it's just incredible how we don't always foresee these upgrades coming, these new layers, these new opportunities in our lives. But as we internally do the work and invest in ourselves, invest in meditation, invest in being patient with reframing things, redirecting our focus. I mean, that takes work. It's exhausting because we're changing habits. We're going against what society tells us. The investment in that, and I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about money too. I'm talking about time. I'm talking about effort, okay? Energy. A lot of times it's just easy to kind of take the shortcuts and, the mindset courses, but you're doing the work. And if you're doing the work, then that investment is going to serve you for the rest of your life, because that is what leads to freedom. That is what leads to true self-love, self-worth, all the foundational blocks that it takes for you to step into one new scenario after the next. You follow me here? So I really wanted to go over those three. Sometimes, I love quizzes. I've created a few myself. You may not be like me, but I really like to understand sometimes, like, where am I at, and how have I grown, and am I getting better at this, and where do I still need to work? And sometimes if we don't have a measuring stick or some metrics to kind of go by, I can feel a little bit like in limbo and out there, and not being able to really recognize where I'm at. So I really wanted to give you something, a little concrete that you can apply to your life, and maybe even come up with more upgrades and more areas that you are starting to upgrade. And even if you're just kind of just identifying right now, I really want this to change, or I really visualize myself being like this. Yes. Okay. That's it. Like, stay focused on that. It's possible. It's doable. You can do it. Oh, join me in my lives, join me in my groups, connect with conscious connections that I have, a group that meets twice a month, to just allow yourself to be with like-minded people that are on that same path for upgrading to happen so much faster. So I just immerse yourself in uplifting, positive people that have the same goal in mind of finding ways, focusing ways that are as gentle to your soul, but as fast in upgrading, right? We want to get it fast. We want to get there fast. It requires some patience, and it requires some change. and it's hard work. Not so much like the workload, it's more the recalibration of our insides because we're such habitual creatures. Then doing things differently or thinking about things differently or analyzing things differently and not judging certain things that we used to judge is actually extremely difficult. All that rewiring, but it's step by step, step by step. And you've been doing it the last year, because if you're watching this, I know you've been doing it, because otherwise you wouldn't be interested in watching this. So, just take a moment and acknowledge that. Allow yourself to be proud in this moment. Just be really proud of yourself and acknowledge that growth just never change, and you never outgrow growth, right? There's always new layers and there's always new things waiting, and that's exciting. But right now, I just want you to acknowledge that all the layers you already put on, that you upgraded, that you up leveled, that you're not the same person as you were a year ago. That took a lot of work, it took a lot of effort. As a result, your families are better, your relationships are better, your work is more authentic. You show up with a different level of vulnerability, different level of integrity for yourself and other people. That means a lot. And it goes a long way of where you want to be. I wanted to shift into something that I'm really passionate about, is that space between the old version of ourselves and the new version. It's a place where I often got stuck personally because I did not know how to get there. Like, how do I get there? And as Abraham Hicks say, for those of you that know them, I that the how comes on its own. A lot of times it's not the how we have to figure out. However, there's part of us, at least for me, that really wanted to wrap myself around, okay, well, I'm here and I don't want to be here. I want to be there, or I have all the wisdom. I know how to do things differently. And I may already have changed a lot of things, but why does it not look different? Because I want it to look like this, right? And this is that integration, the bridge that we're walking often alone, feeling very alone, unsupportive. People don't really understand us. People don't get it. Sometimes we don't even get it ourselves. And that space can be a bit frustrating. And we feel like we are stuck at times for a long period of time, even though we're actually moving. But we don't have people reflect back to us that we are changing. It's really hard to see the nuances ourselves. I hope that you can follow what I'm saying here. So when you know you're upgrading, you can still feel stuck. Anybody feel that sometimes? I certainly do. But that's not because you're failing. That is because that upgrading requires a bridge. Okay, this is that path I was talking about before, accepting that you're on the path. It's really accepting that you're stepping into that bridge. And it's kind of like no end of return kind of thing. Like it's a one-way thing, even though we kind of get out in that bridge and sometimes we back out because people are like, what are you doing out there? Like, why are you going over there? There's nothing over there that's better than here. And we're like, no, but I want to be over there. I see all this newness. And like, no, come back. We need you as you used to be. And therefore, we're kind of discouraged to go out to that bridge. But what if, our life can still exist when we walk to that new version of ourselves? And we exist with people in a different way. And it strengthened our relationships, and it strengthened our work ethic, and it strengthened us as leaders. And we are able to show up for people in a different way, much more powerful and influential way. What if? And what I that's what I help with. So between who you are now and who you're becoming is a bridge made of confidence. All right. And there are some core elements that we need to kind of cross that bridge so we don't slide back in old patterns. I have created a mini workshop on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard to address this specifically. So if you want to take your upgrades from 2025 and really want to solidify it and embody it more, I'm actually going to walk you through this bridge concept, do a internal meditation of integrating that into your body. This is something that I do with my one-on-one clients. It's going to be a snippet of it, but it's going to be influential, and it's going to be powerful, and it's something that you're going to be feel in your life that you can use after that workshop on Wednesday. It's free, so show up and take advantage of it, because we're going to be diving deep. It's not going to be live. This is going to be private. You will sign up for it and you'll receive the Meet link. It's not going to be a Zoom. It's going to be a Meet link that only are invited for people who have registered for it and who want to participate. It's an hour and a half. Not a long time. It's enough time for us to do this integration. So I have been super inspired by the work that my clients have done, the hard work that they've done, and the funnels and the paths that they've been on that really represent this bridge that I'm talking about. Really connected with self-worth, self-healing, and authenticity, and kind of how your self-awareness of self-regulation. How am I able to adapt to new situations? Right? So if you are wanting to participate in this workshop on Wednesday, you can private message me. I send you the link. It's under my events. It's on my page for Wednesday. You can just sign up on the registration link. I will put it in here in the comments too if you want to participate in the mini workshop. It's going to be amazing and really going to get us ready for 2026. Clean slate. Well, as clean as we can get it, right? With intention. All right. So, thank you for being here and showing up and taking time for this. This is a busy time of year, and I recognize that. And I recognize you, and I recognize your growth. And if nothing else, and nobody else have told you this week, today, this month, ever, you're doing an amazing job. You're showing up for yourself. You want more. You believe that it can be more. You believe in expansion. You believe in the goodness coming to you. That's important. That's meaningful. So if you're standing between versions of yourself, if you feel the upgrade, but want to support living it, if you're ready to stop circling and start crossing, I would love to have you with me on Wednesday. I will leave you with this. You don't have to upgrade by pushing. There's no forcing. Can't do it. We invite. You upgrade by aligning with who you are quietly, softly. And the fact that you're here means you're already on the bridge. Pretty exciting. So I really, really thank you for being here. Thank you for celebrating with me. Thank you for honoring your growth. And I hope to walk this next step with you on a mini workshop on Wednesday. So be well.